What is up, you guys? Gamer Live Studio here, back at it with another off the top video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about and discussing and breaking down the next generation Xbox console, Project Helix. GDC happened last week and they drop a whole bunch of information, which we're going to go over all of it and give you my overall thoughts and opinions on it, what's going on. But personally for me, it sounds like I'm pretty excited for this, and this is going to be very, very interesting. We're going to talk about a little bit about PlayStation stuff, and then after that we're going to wrap it up with Copilot is going to be making its way towards the Xbox console. Now, without further ado, make sure you like, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate that. And let's get started with the video itself, because we got a lot of things to go over and talk about. So right here, we on the Xbox Wired right here, which is right here from GDC, building the next generation of Xbox, Project Helix right here. So we got this right here. So let's go highlight this, and I'm gonna let this do the talking.
Our team is in development on our next generation Xbox console, Project Helix. We are pushing the boundaries of rendering and simulation in partnership with AMD, using FSR Next to power what comes next. Starting in April, Xbox Mode will begin rolling out to Windows in select markets. It brings a familiar Xbox experience to players while keeping the flexibility and openness of Windows. For developers, the Xbox Play Anywhere catalog now spans more than 1,500 games, creating a powerful opportunity to reach players seamlessly across console and Windows.
All right, so you heard it there, because I sat there, I said, should I read? I was like, I probably might stumble my words and stuff like that. And it's getting pretty late as I'm recording this. So I'm just going to let that do the talking, let the read aloud do the talking. But we heard it here that basically they are deep in development for the next generation console. We got confirmation, yes, AMD is involved, FSR, we got a whole bunch of stuff, right? And then we also have this little tidbit right here that the Xbox Mode will begin rolling out this April, which is going to be really exciting. So we're going to take a look at that, because again, I got a PC, I do have the Xbox ROG Ally, the white version, so we're gonna see both of them as well. So I'll probably make videos about it, talking about some of the features, maybe some of the things that what you could do and stuff. So it's going to be very interesting on that front. And also they said, hey, we have expanded the Xbox Play Anywhere catalog, and they have expanded well over 1,500 games seamlessly across between console and Windows, which is very, very good. So good, I'm glad that's growing. Again, this seems to be all good. This is like all good things. I don't see anything bad in here. But let's go break down the first thing, which is the Xbox Mode, which is right here. So we got it on Windows Central. It says Microsoft brings new Xbox Mode to Windows 11 PC next month, prepares major gaming advancements that lays the foundation for the next Xbox, which is good. So we're going to see major advancements, and it's also, keyword right here is laying down the foundation. I think I have talked about it and cover it plenty of times. Remember when we talked about the ABK deal with the leaks and stuff like that, and the slideshows that they had, right? And we went over every piece of it, and I said, look, they are laying down the foundation, and it's clear as day. We can see it right in front of us. They are laying down the foundation for the next gen Xbox, which is really good, right? So what is this about? So basically, to put it like this way, I got a picture right here, and I think you can able to see it. Hopefully you guys can see it. Let me just put this down a little bit. Sorry. Got my microphone kind of thing like blocking my other window screen, but there we go. Now I can see my OBS. But yeah, you should see it right here clearly. Like, you see it right here. It says Xbox full screen experience comes to PC. And so, again, it's going to be rolling out next month in April, but the general idea is basically when you see it looking like this, is basically it's going to look like pretty much the same across the board. So like again, I got the Xbox ROG Ally here. Is going to look the same as when I got my desktop computer at home. Is going to look like this when I open up the app and stuff like that. So it's not only we've seen the picture of like again laptops, handhelds, and also on our PC, but it could be interesting that it could brings to phones as well as it could be, you know, saying, hey, for next generation console, but it could hint at the fact that we see an Xbox controller, could hint the fact that maybe it might bring it towards last generation consoles. Who knows? They might be able to say, hey, we could put this Xbox mode, this full screen experience mode to our last generation Xbox just to give it a try, see how it works. Hey, that could possibly happen. So I wouldn't be surprised if it does work and it does happen. So there's that, which I think this is a great thing. I think is good to unify things because, like, remember, their whole goal is the ecosystem, right? You know, if I wanted to open up, like, again, like the Xbox app right here, I want to be able that this app is going to represent the same feel as if I open up my Xbox ROG Ally, open up the app, and it should be pretty much like this. It should feel the same. Go on here, put in some games, right? Able to go into Game Pass, launch my games from here. So again, I wouldn't be surprised that they will be they're gonna make it much more cleaner, better interface. So we're gonna see all that stuff, which is really cool. I'm excited for it. So good. Again, the only thing is we got to see how is it going to perform. But if so far, as much as like I've been playing on the Xbox Ally, the handheld one, it seems like they've been working on it extremely hard, ironing out the kinks, getting rid of the bugs and stuff. So they've been really working hard to get that pretty much stable and really secure. So I've been playing around with it, and over the course it's been getting better and better. And again, complaints like when I had you know, go into Windows mode, if I wanted to go onto like a website or something like that, you know, it didn't have like mouse and keyboard, especially mouse controls on the Xbox controller on a handheld. They added that in there, so now when I go on there, I don't have to touch the screen to do it. I could control it with my joysticks, click on it, it will open up the web address bar, click the back shortcut keys. I got the thing where I could type and stuff. Really good. So they are making sure that is well intuitive and it works pretty well. So they've been working hard on that. They've been doing it. So we'll see how this goes in April. We'll see how that comes out. But nonetheless, I think this is a great thing. Now, moving on from there, let's talk about Project Helix, right? The thing. And I got this right here from Copilot just to give me like some, you know, information about it. And then I said, let me just put it onto Word document, and then we can, you know, I have some things highlighted right here. We'll go over this stuff and we'll talk about it and stuff. We'll break it down. So what is Project Helix? Project Helix is Microsoft upcoming. Okay, and I highlighted right here, this is going to be a hybrid console PC gaming device. So basically it's a hybrid, like I think we already have figured it out like a couple of years back that it was going to be a hybrid console PC like gaming device, which is designed to merge traditional console, you know, traditional Xbox hardware with PC level flexibility. So that's really interesting right there. Could this mean that maybe game developers may be developing a game for the Xbox next gen console Project Helix? Maybe those games can actually have maybe certain options in the game where allow us to have a little bit more tinkering and stuff, maybe turning on graphics, turning off ray tracing, certain things like that. Maybe we might get more flexibility on this next generation console, right? And you know what, since we're already here, right, might as well like put like maybe like a game, for example. So let me go launch Dirt 4. I think Dirt 4 will be a good example. Like again, just to kind of like show you and stuff since we're here, right? So right now, right, we go right here. So what I'm thinking is, you know, when they say, you know, the flexibility of like, you know, PC stuff, what I'm saying is, it's like when you go into the option menu, usually on consoles, they don't have as much options as we do on PC. So this could be a way of like, again, we can get graphics options on the next gen consoles. We can actually turn stuff up, we could turn stuff down, maybe we can go into video quality, we could turn things, we might have more options right here that we could do. We can also do, like, again, advanced graphics, turning off certain things, keeping things on high, keeping things on low. So it's going to be very interesting, right? You know, like, again, turning on and off motion blur, we can do that, right? Screen space reflection, we could turn that on and off. So again, on the console, they may not have that, but again, if the next, you know, generation console, Project Helix, right, we might can get games and we might can get extra options like these to turn stuff on, turn stuff off. We could put things like, maybe instead of like having it on ultra, maybe I just want to leave it on high. I think if I put the quality on high, maybe turn off a couple of things, my game will run better, right? You know, instead of the typical, like, we have the two modes right now, like, okay, there's 4K DLSS, 1440p 4K, ray tracing and all that stuff. Like, if I don't want ray tracing, I could turn off ray tracing. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of the things, the key takeaways from this, which is really cool. So let me do like this right here, and I'll close it out. Right, well, exit these out real quick, but that's just one example, right? So we might can get flexibility, like PC level flexibility and stuff like that, so which that is really cool. So that's cool right there. And cross-platform play, so which that is true, right? We can go back to here, which is that, again, they have already let us know that is a 1,500 games. Basically, it's going to be a seamless cross console and Windows experience. So basically cross-platform games and stuff like that. That's going to be cool as well. And high-end PC performance, which is good. So, like, again, we could get options like that. That'd be great. So let's go right here. It's going to be a hybrid console PC design. It's going to run Xbox console games and PC titles from the store like Steam and GOG, which is really good. Okay. So we are going to definitely get Steam. We're definitely going to get GOG, right? And probably Epic Game Store as well, right? Epic Store. So we're going to get some storefronts, which is really cool. So again, I'm not going to go into too much in depth. I think I'm going to save it some for some hot takes and stuff like that. But this could open up, like, again, getting games way cheaper. Again, like if you go towards, again, like right here, right? Like I said, for example, like if it is going to be a console PC hybrid, if you was buying PC games, you could go right here on the web browser, make an account or whatever, and you can literally browse for games and get games on the cheap and have it to be you know, on Steam, right? There's Steam, Rockstar, Ubisoft Connect. So if I go on to Steam, right, we can say, oh, hey, you know what, I really do want that Batman game on my Steam, and you can literally go on here, add the cart, and you're only paying $2.34. Then you can go on Steam, get the code, redeem the code, activation code, and then you got the game in your library. You know what I'm saying? Look at this, golden opportunities. Look at this, Batman Arkham Origins, $1.50. Crazy. Look at this, Resident Evil 7, Biohazard, $6. Man, that's not bad. That's not bad at all, man. Like, you could see, like, some of these deals can be really good. Resident Evil 6, $3 and something change, right? There is some games on here that you could pick up, but like, again, there's other places you can get keys too. You know, not just this, right? We can go on Green Man Gaming, right? See right here, Dragonate Doom the Dark Ages, $20, easy pickup right here. The Evil Within bundle, $5. That's a really good deal. Like that is there's some pretty good deals on here for Steam, you know, that you could look at. You know, you could look up and find discounts for certain things. Like again, there's many other sites, right? Warhammer 40k Dark Tide, $10. That's a really good pickup. Wolfenstein 2, $5. That's a really good deal. Dying Light Essential Edition, $2.64. You got Dishonored Definitive Edition, $4.30. Tomb Raider Remastered 1, 2, and 3, only like about what, $9? That's really good. That is really, really good. Like there is some good deals on here. So if you really look through this and you can find the game that you want, you could really save a bunch of money. You could really do save a bunch of money. So that is going to be fantastic. It's going to be really good. So, and like again, and the thing is that I highlighted here is that the fact that yes, it does going to run on a Xbox. It does going to run Xbox console games as well as PC titles. So side by side, just like the Xbox ROG Ally that I have, I could run Xbox games as well as, or Game Pass games, and I could run whatever I want on Steam as well. And it's really easy to deal with. Right, so moving on to here with the architecture, they like again, there's some rumors about this right now. This is not confirmed yet, but what we do know is that we're gonna have next gen X on DirectX. So we're gonna get next generation of DirectX. We're gonna have to wait and see what they're going to do, as well as FSR technology, so new FSR, so which is really good. So right now this is still like rumor right now, but I'm not going to sit here and go over this. It's kind of boring until we get some actual concrete, like, you know, hardware stuff, then we'll go over it. But until then, we can pretty much sit here, we can guess that it's going to be definitely more powerful than the current gen consoles that we have right now. And especially if you have the PS5 Pro, this console right here is going to be more powerful than the PS5 Pro for $700 and something. This one looks like to me is going to be a much more well and complete package, just given the fact that it's running on Xbox console games as well as going towards the Windows and running PC games from Steam and GOG, which is absolutely incredible, unlocking more games to play onto your system, unlike, I don't know how PlayStation 6 is going to do, but we'll get to there in a minute. But at least we know that, again, they're working on next DirectX, another version of that. We're gonna get that FSR technology. There's that. And then we're gonna go down here. This is another big highlight right here. Backwards compatibility. Native support for Xbox One and Xbox Series games. So that is awesome. So basically, you know, if you have Xbox One games and the series, the Xbox Series S games, if you're worried about, oh my god, it's not going to work on the next gen console, I'm pretty sure it will work for next generation console as well. And emulation support for older generations. So basically all of the OG Xbox, the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series is all going to be, like, again, those older games are going to be moving forward with this new next generation console. Good. So they are working on backwards compatibility, which is awesome. And it's great to hear. So it sounds like a plus to me, because that's great. Like, you know, we had backwards compatibility been worked on since the Xbox One generation, and now fast forward to this generation, they are still continuing to support backwards compatibility on older games, and your game library, your digital library will be moving forward, which is great. It's awesome. You know, we're not going to be like how let's just say PlayStation 3, where most of their games is still trapped on the PlayStation 3. Right, we're starting to see them like remake, like again the God of War trilogy remake that PlayStation is doing. They're bringing that forward to the new PlayStation 5 platform. And also we're seeing Konami taking Metal Gear Solid 4 that was trapped on the PlayStation 3. Now they're coming out of that, is going to be coming towards the PlayStation 5 generation. It's about time, but it's a little late to the party. But Xbox just make it simple, like, hey, if you still got these games and stuff like that, it's going to be moved right over, so you don't have to worry about it. That's a big plus. It's less headaches, less we have to worry about, and stuff like that. This is all good stuff to me. Sounds really, really good. Now we can go over here. It says price expectancy. You know, we can guess at the price all day. Again, we don't have official confirmation, but it seems to me that a lot of people saying this might be $1,000. This might be $999 to $1,200. Again, we'll have to wait and see what the price is going to be, but given to the climate that we're in right now, I wouldn't be surprised it is going to be like $1,000 or $1,200. With the RAM issue, storage issues right now is fucking insane, which it really is. I'm like, oh my god, like what the fuck are we doing? So there's that, right? And then moving down here, release timeline. Okay, so we know that the developer alpha kit is expected to ship in 2027. So basically early 2027 when it starts, they're going to be shipping out those dev kits out. Could possibly be the main console might be releasing late holiday 2027. It could be early 2028. This is why I put this right down here. This is like mine's right here. But then what Copilot did was they said public release is likely 2028 or later, which I doubt it. I think that would be more towards PlayStation 5, more towards that. If we're getting talks about next generation console right now during 2026, most likely the release of that console will be late holiday 2027 at the most. Okay, that's what I'm personally speculating on and leaning towards, because it just makes a whole lot of sense, you know. And again, I really want to emphasize this. I did talk about this as well, right? If you didn't forget, in the video, right, I said, like, again, with, you know, I did a hot take on the Elder Scrolls 6 Irelac, right? And I said the potential release date will be late holiday 2027, right? And then I was talking about the next gen, the next gen Xbox consoles and the lineup, right? We talked about that it could be releasing on that new gen console, could be Gears of War E-Day, right? We didn't heard anything from last year. I think we're gonna hear a little bit something this year, but again, it ain't gonna release this year. I think it's going to release in 2027 for sure for Gears of War E-Day, right? State of Decay 3, that was another game I totally forgot to add into this video, but even State of Decay 3 could be a launch title for the next gen consoles. And as well as, like, again, knowing Elder Scrolls 6 is a big title. What's a big title? Usually a big title or a big name game can move units. So if you put Elder Scrolls 6 and say, hey, it's going to be a time exclusive for the Xbox console and towards the PC, and hey, if I get Project Project Helix, I can get the PC version of Elder Scrolls and then use the mods for what, right? Nexus mods, right? If we go right here, we can use Nexus mods. So you can imagine that, again, if we got Skyrim Special Edition up here for Nexus mods on PC, knowing that the next gen console is going to be a console PC hybrid, and if they are going to be releasing Elder Scrolls 6 late holiday 2027, we know is in a playable state. This could be right up here, and that could move, and that can move some units. That can really move some units, and people might decide to say, maybe I should get me get the Xbox Project Helix console, because if it's $1,000 and something, because if I was to build a console on my own, it'll be more money than that, right? It'll be more and more money because of the climate that we're in right now. So if they keep the pricing pretty reasonable, they put a game like Elder Scrolls 6 to launch late holiday 2027, you could definitely can move some damn units for sure. Because that right there, that's gonna be like, man, maybe I should get that, that'd be pretty fucking good, because like, again, because I'm not gonna talk about GTA 6, not all this information, but you could say, hey, I'm gonna have GTA 6 on my Xbox and then Elder Scrolls 6 on Steam, and I got 2 games going back to back, which is really cool, right? And like, again, I did mention that we did talk about Todd Howard in his new interview, right? They're still working on Starfield. We know it's going to be releasing soon, coming up in April, so we're going to get some news dropping about that game. But also, he did confirm a couple of things about where is Elder Scrolls 6 is at, which is in a playable state, and they passing another big milestone. So if it's in a playable state and they're passing a milestone, don't be surprised that this game, that Elder Scrolls 6 game, will be dropping in 2027 late holiday. I think that's their goal and their stretch goal where they want to hit it, because again, if you're going to put in, like, say, hey, we got another next gen console coming out, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? We got Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be dropping on there, and as well as on PC. Damn, okay. Because remember, if they can do an exclusive for Starfield, right? Starfield didn't went to PS5 anytime soon. It took probably like three years from now until they are about to start getting Starfield right now. So it took about 3 years. Probably that Elder Scrolls 6 could be a time exclusive 3 years before that's going to drop on the PS6. Okay, you following me? Now you start to understand. Like, again, it's starting to seem like we're putting the pieces together. So it seems to me like that's what it seems to me like their plan, their strategy, what they're trying to do. We're gonna have to wait and see what's the Xbox showcase coming up in summer. I'm not expecting Elder Scrolls 6 to be there, but I'm expecting Elder Scrolls 6 to be shown off at least maybe next year at summer. It might show it off. I'm hoping, like, fingers crossed, if it seems to be pretty much on the right track of what they're doing. Okay, let's go back to here. So that's why I put this right here, but the AI says this, I thinking is more towards like late 2027, early 2028, for sure, for the console and stuff. That's personally for me. Then moving on down here, strategy and positioning. Aims to be the most powerful console of this generation. Yeah, we hear this all the time. Like, okay, consoles, any console, it doesn't matter. Any new console generation, they always going to say the same thing. Nintendo, we're going to hear it from PlayStation, we're going to hear it from Xbox, right? I'm not too worried about that, okay? I can care less whether it's not. I just more care about is more functionality wise, in terms of stability. That's what I want to hear, the two most important things out of this Xbox. Okay, one for stability, because I want to make sure that this next generation PC console hybrid is going to be stable across the board, as well as functionality where it does allow me to do things like, again, if I go to Steam and I download Steam games, can I mod Steam games? Can I do these things so I can play and enjoy the overall experience, right? That's what we still gotta see, but it sounds like it's going to be more of a open ecosystem, not a closed ecosystem, right? PC integration, and Game Pass ecosystem expansion, yes, and then it's going to be across the board, like all platforms, like all access across the board, so, which is really cool. And that's pretty much it right there. But just to go over this, I like, again, it just sounds really, really exciting. I mean, backwards compatibility, so at least they're not leaving it behind, they're not abandoning it. They're saying, yep, we we're like, again, they're a software company first and foremost, and they are going to bring that stuff over there. So yeah, like, again, backwards compatibility, like, again, it's going to be a console PC hybrid. It's going to have Steam and GOG. That sounds good. And I'm thinking they're more aiming towards a late holiday 2027 for this console release, given the fact that I think even for the Series S and X, they have released dev kits for that, and then later on, a couple of months down the road, then they also release the consoles as well, the Xbox Series S and X. So they actually did that. So now they made sure that and also what I heard, that they made this Xbox dev kit more easier. I think they only had to put in a little bit of work just to make it into the PC version, but it's not going to be like super hard or really complex. It's just going to be pretty much straightforward, with a little bit of extra work, and that's about it. It's just going to be like, okay, if I got the Xbox version for this, and we want to put the PC version, we can do that. We just make a few little tweaks. Okay, now let's go port it towards Steam. That's it. It's just going to be really is that simple. So that's good. So they made it easier, so there's no excuse like, okay, it's difficult, it's hard, it's going to be hard to develop for this. It's not. So that's good. So that's good to hear. And again, we don't know what the pricing is yet. We're gonna have to wait and see, and we don't have concrete, like, official, like, hardware in terms of, like, what is it going to be, how many compute units. We don't have that yet. What we do know is, like, again, it is going to improve ray tracing performance. It's going to have more console, PC level flexibility. Probably, like, again, most likely might have options in the option menu inside of the Xbox, Xbox Project Helix. Probably that one is going to have more options in there in the game, where you could turn off certain things, maybe turn off ray tracing. Like, let's say, for example, like, again, if I was playing like Crimson Desert, it's a really great game, but to be honest with you, I don't want to deal with the performance headaches that they already set these pre-modes in there. I just want to turn off ray tracing completely off, and I just want to turn off motion blur and all this stuff, but I want to crank my graphics higher and probably lower my resolution from 1440p to down to 1080p. Can I do those things? Like, hopefully it sounds like to me that we can see those possible options and those things inside of this Xbox, which would be really, really cool, and it's awesome. So that is great. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Project Helix. Let's talk about a little bit about PlayStation here for a minute, because it seems like to me PlayStation is being backed into a corner now. Like, again, we know the disastrous things that they have been doing. I have already made a video about it. Some of the disastrous moves that they are doing. Again, a lot of people was making that rumor. I think I made a video, talking about this right here. If you actually went back and you listened to this, that the PS6 might be releasing in 2027. I will really highly doubt that, because if the PS6 was going to release in 2027, usually we should be hearing stuff about the PlayStation hardware and stuff from them, giving out, specifications, this, that, certain things like that, at GDC or something, but they haven't shown anything at GDC. All they're doing is right now is right here is PlayStation is hosting a indie breakfast during GDC at 2026. So it's basically a bunch of indie games and indie devs. No PS6 hardware news, none of that stuff. But again, we got a lot of these kind of like these grifters, these wannabe like journalists or gamers or so-called, you know, people in the YouTube community want to pretend and be like, hey, yeah, I know about this. Yeah, you know, PlayStation 6 is going to come in 2027. Don't worry. Like, I doubt it. I think it's going to be releasing late 2028 going into 2029. I think they're going to be releasing in that time frame, because, like, again, looking at this right here, we're seeing that they're going to have the again, the dev kits is going to release early 2027, and possibility for this one is going to release either late 2027 for the actual official consoles, or next year early 2028 could be another possibility. So again, they did that for the last console, right? It wasn't that far apart. They released dev kits, and then a couple of months down the road they say, hey, the next gen console is going to be shown off, and here's the release date for that console. I think they're aiming for 2027 for sure, given the fact that it seems like, you know, they're talking about it, they're laying down the foundation, they probably got everything in order. Again, there's a few holes that we don't know, but when we're talking about PlayStation here, we don't know absolutely nothing. It's just based off of rumors and speculations and stuff like that. No concrete evidence and stuff like that. The only thing that we do know is that PlayStation is working with AMD. They are working on certain things to improve whatever next generation, you know, PS6 and stuff like that into the future. But no concrete stuff. They haven't come out, spoken about it and stuff. So I highly doubt it that they are going to be planning on releasing PlayStation 6 in 2027. Like, no way. I think it might be 2028 or later 2029, if possible. Okay, so just to be aware, I'm just letting you know, I'm not trying to burst your bubbles here, but if you're on the PlayStation side, don't get your hopes up like it's going to release in 2027. It's not. It doesn't look like it. Again, if they was releasing in 2027, they would have been talking about specs. They would have been talking about we're releasing dev kits out there, late holiday, whatever. They would have been talking about this stuff, but they're not. Okay. So last but not least, we're going to start wrapping this up. And we're going to talk about this one right here. Xbox CEO Asha Sharma is hosting Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella in Q&A. Well, this one right here basically saying like they're bringing the Xbox Copilot. The Copilot is going to go into the next gen Xbox and stuff like that. And I got a video right here. Okay, but before we get into the video, I want to give a shout out to this right here. I'm on Sig's Discord, and he presented this right here and got this video, so I downloaded it and I'm using it in this video, right? So shout out to him. Let's go play this video. So this is the Copilot AI that's coming towards Xbox. Let's see how bad this is. I want to see, is this is like something extremely bad? Is this is going to be like, oh my God, like it's going to perform so bad, it's going to be worse? Let's watch this video together and hear what this thing does. Okay, here we go.
Seven psi in the rear and 26 in the front. That should give you a bit more grip and control in the corners.
What should my alignment be?
For your Escort, I'd suggest dialing in a bit more negative camber up front, maybe around -2 degrees, just to help those tires bite into the corners. In the rear, keep it a bit milder, around -1.5 degrees. Then set your toe to 0, so your car tracks nice and straight. And we're all set. Let me know if there's anything else you need. what's on your screen there, Warlock's Pawn. So open Duriel's Hoard. You'll need those corrupted horns of Duriel that the prompt is asking for. Basically, you collect those horns by defeating Duriel himself in the Echo of Duriel boss fight. So you gotta farm him a couple of times until you get enough horns. Then you can interact with that Skash and claim the loot. So it's a bit of a grind, but hey, you're already on Torment 4 and hitting Paragon level 268, so you're in great shape.
Alright, it's my first time playing. How do I get to a ship?
Alright, Warlock Bone, welcome aboard. First things first, every new pirate in T&D starts out from an outpost island. Just head down to the dock area and your ship is usually waiting there, ready to go. Now the sloop is your starting ship, super easy to handle solo, so hop on board, raise your anchor, and start figuring out the ropes. And hey, take your time. There's no rush to be a legendary pirate on your first day.
Okay, how do I get on the ship?
Just climb right up that ladder on the dive there, and you'll be on your ship in no time. It's pretty straightforward. Once you're on deck, you can start exploring the ship and get used to the control. So go ahead and climb aboard. What's the first part of the ship you want to check out?
I guess I need to learn how to sail.
Absolutely. Let's get you sailing. So once you're on board, the first thing you do is raise the anchor. That big wheel in the middle of your deck, just interact with it and push it all the way up. Then you'll want to set your sailing using those ropes you see near the sides. That'll catch the wind and get you moving. And hey, if you want a little guidance on navigation, that ship's map downstairs is your best friend. For sure. Let's make those turns smoother for you. Right now, I can see your tire pressures are quite high, especially on the rears. I start by bringing those down just a bit. Say around 27 PSI in the rear and 26 in the front. That should give you a bit more grip and control in the corners.
What should my
Damn. Well, it seems to me doesn't sound too bad at all. Like, that's actually sound pretty fucking cool. Like, bro, I don't know what the fuck's so bad about that. That's actually really cool, because again, it's not interfering or stopping your game. It's not trying to pull up a menu or something else. It's just simply like Copilot sees what's going on. He asks a simple question. He's getting the response like, hey, how could I get this car to be better or whatever? Okay, I can see your thing is a little bit high. Put it down. It will grip the corners better, which is true, which is absolutely true. And then, with the wheel alignment and stuff like that, like, it's actually really cool. I like this. Like, look, I don't know how bad it is, but this is some really good stuff. This does going to help a lot of people out, especially for, again, new people playing a game like Sea of Thieves. They may not know how to do make a sales, how to sail a ship and how to do this, like, right? For newcomers, okay? For me, that been playing games for a very long time, this is something where I may not really use Copilot at all. So honestly, I can just literally turn this off and just go about my business. But for anybody that's new, that's coming in there, they may not know about sailing a ship. Okay, how to sail a ship? Like, again, if I ask somebody that, they'll just say some, stuff that we know from a TV show and all that stuff, right? But then, like, okay, but now you're playing a game. Now, how do you sail this ship? Like, okay, do I have to turn this, right? It's not like 2014 or 2013 like Black Flag, where it's like, oh yeah, we just put my character on the boat and I could just press A and just start rolling the ship. Like, this one is more like in depth, where you have to really turn the thing here, put down the sail cloth down. You gotta raise, take the ropes down, take the anchor up, right? It's more like as a real ship that you have to really know what you're doing, right? It's not like Black Flag, where it was like very easy and well intuitive to do it, but this one is not, which is cool. But again, like, the dialogue, the interaction sounds like an actual person, like, telling you some things like this, that, and giving you pointers, even for like as simple games like this, or even complex games like in Diablo. Like in Diablo, this is where if I was playing Diablo, to be honest with you, I don't know nothing about Diablo, but if I was to jump in and play Diablo, right, I'll start learning to do stuff and this and that. But even for me personally, I might have to ask Copilot and say, what's this do? Or how to open up this chest? What do I need to do? I don't, like, again, I don't know Diablo. I never played Diablo like that. So if I was to jump into a complex game like that, the Copilot for me might come in handy for me, because I don't know anything about the game or how to open up chests and get to point A to point B. I don't know anything like that. So for me, this will come in clutch for me. In terms of racing, do I need Copilot for racing? No, because I already know how to do it myself. The only thing I might ask for Copilot for something is like, maybe like, you know, if I want to tweak it like here, or I want to get a better understanding of the description. Because if you look right here, if you see this description right here, you can't even read that, and some of it is pretty lengthy and really long, and you have to sit there and look at it. So the only thing I will say is like, hey Copilot, what does this camber in the rear and the front do? And then he'll explain to me in the game without pausing the game. It'll give me a description about it, an idea, like what does it do. So then that way I will say, okay, then I will adjust it appropriately, knowing where to put it at. Like, I don't need his help like any further than that, but just like a helpful, like, give me a description about this setting or about this. Because some of the description settings in Forza, you can see it right here, it is pretty lengthy and is long. I'm not saying you can't read it, but again, it might get confusing because you're like looking at it, trying to read and understand it. But it's just easier to just tell Copilot, hey, give me an explanation on what does rear camera do, what does this do, what does that do, give me a description about it. And then he'll tell me about it, and then I'll say, okay, if I can make an adjustment here, I know how to tweak it from that point. Like, again, I'm not going to use it that often, but that might be maybe one or two things I want to ask a question about. But like, again, if I was playing like Diablo for the first time, I'll be playing it, I'll be understanding here and there a little bit about it, but I don't understand everything about it. So I might need Copilot a lot more for this, just so I can get an idea and understanding how to play this game. And then once I learn how to play it and understand what do I need to do, then I don't really need Copilot anymore after that. I could just go about my own business because I know how to play the game. I understand these mechanics. Okay, and I know what to do. But again, that's for like people that are newcomers like myself and many others. But this doesn't seem to be bad at all. Actually, this is fucking amazing. This is like shit that I wish back in the day when we was kids and we used to look at the magazine covers, because, and I was talking about this at my job, and I said, you know what? This is like basically, it's like a revolution from going from, we used to buy strategy magazines to go in the book and we have to read and find information, to the point where if I'm at home and I want to get through this level, I don't have to stop the game and pause the game and try to open up this web browser. I can still do that. It's not a big deal, but I can literally just tell Copilot, hey, I'm stuck on this. It's telling me what, it's telling me how to, whatever, get this chest. What do I need to do? And then at least Copilot will give me an idea and a well thought out explanation what to do. So then, okay, I know what to do. I need to go here. I got to farm this boss, get these things and items. Once I got enough, then I come back here, then I can get the chest and get the loot. Okay, I got it. I got a understanding of it. Okay, because for me, this to me right here is complex, because I don't understand a goddamn thing in Diablo. Okay, don't hate me for it. I don't know. Okay, but shit, but this is be great for me because now I'm getting an explanation about it, and then I could do it in the game. It's not like taking over and let me, play the game and stuff like that. And again, a lot of people saying, oh, this is bad. This doesn't seem bad at all. I mean, like, shit, the amount of explanation that it does, I'm gonna have to go here. So let's hear this part right here. I gotta hear this again.
How do I open Duriel's sword?
I see what's on your screen there, Warlock Spawn. So open Duriel's hoard. You'll need those corrupted horns of Duriel that the prompt is asking for. Basically, you collect those horns by defeating Duriel himself in the Echo of Duriel boss fight. So you gotta farm him a couple of times so you get enough horns. Then you can interact with that Skash and claim the loot. So it's a bit of a grind, but hey, you're already on Torment 4 and Paragon level 268, so you're in great shape.
See that? Like, that's really cool. See that? Easy. Simple question. The Copilot answer it and really explain what do I need to do, and then all I have to do is just go and do it, and then that's it, and then I get it, and then I can get the loot in the stash. It's that simple. See, that's something for me that's going to be helpful, and this is like cool as hell. Like, again, this is like back in the day, somebody has to pay for these strategy magazines, or if you have a friend at the school or something, you got to borrow their book, bring it home, then you got to read it, and then you got to go and play the game and then see if you could try to do it. Then you got to read it again, and then you're like, oh snap, I missed this part, let me go read that again and do it, and then you try to do it again. This one right here is like literally like there is no like pause the game, there is no I have to open up another window, there's nothing. It's just basically like if you ask Copilot, or you just whatever, press a button on your controller, mapping it or whatever, you can open it up and just ask Copilot, hey, how do I get through this level? Or hey, how do I get from here to here? What do I need to do? And then the Copilot will see the game, see what you're doing, and then give you actual things what you need to do and stuff, which is pretty fucking cool. I ain't gonna fucking lie, man. This is pretty fucking cool. This is pretty cool. And it's like you can literally keep going what you need to do. Now, I don't know what people are getting uproar about this is because of let me go see right here real quick. It's the fact that we go right here, because I said right here, I said I'm like, what's the big deal? It's like, it's, you know, and like, again, I sit there and I told them, like, you could literally just turn this shit off. If you don't want it, you could literally turn it off. And it's like, and then, you know, Pickle Worlds make a good point right here. It says, for real, like, for God's sake, the PS6 is going to be using AI as well, and the PS5 Pro is using AI, for crying out loud. Yes, exactly. They're using AI as well. They're going to implement AI, and I did cover and talked about that as well, that they are using AI to help you to play the game or get through a level, you know. So they are implementing on that as well. Sony's doing it. I wouldn't be surprised later on Nintendo will implement some type of AI feature or AI assistance to play a Nintendo game. I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo did it, right? Who's gonna make a big fuss about that? I don't know, right? Let's say Nintendo did have an AI system. Who's gonna be crying about it? I don't know, because it ain't gonna be me, because I'm like, AI is here to stay. You know, welcome to this generation. You know, it is what it is. But I can't sit here and deny, right, that some of these features, some of those things is fucking cool. Like, that shit is fucking cool, man. That shit is fucking cool. Again, I will never thought or dream that we'll get to this point in this type of technology that we can have this type of shit. Shit, even I was thinking about this a long time ago. I was like, man, it would be pretty cool if I could just tell it, you know, tell Xbox to open up this and give me ideas about this and this and that. Now we're getting it right now. And this one, you don't even have to stop the video game. Like, no pausing, no stopping, no getting out and going into the big old Copilot window, taking up your screen like a snap feature from the Xbox One. Remember that? Remember the snap feature where you can, you know, snap a window on the side? You could have Netflix running on the side of the window while you're playing the game. I remember that. There's none of that. All you have to do is just tell Copilot, hey, I want to know how to get through this level, and it will really explain and tell you every step on what to do, and it's really, really cool. That's super cool. So I don't see what the issue is here. And again, like I said, most likely if you don't want to use Copilot, you could just literally turn it off. Just like how, again, Xbox One with the Connect, right? With the Connect features and stuff like that, where when they had like Xbox, you know, you could have voice commands to say Xbox turn on. You could turn on your Xbox by using your voice. It's no different. Even with that console, you can go into the settings menu, which I did because I'm not using Connect anyway. I just turned it off. That's it. It's just that simple. I just went into settings, using voice commands or whatever accessibility. I just turned it straight off. Done. And then just go about my business, playing my video games and doing whatever I need to do. I didn't use voice command. So I don't know what seems to be the big deal here, but it seems like a pretty much a nothing burger. But that's it for Copilot right there, and that is pretty much it at the end of this video. Let me know, guys, what do you guys think about the next generation Xbox Project Helix? Are you excited for it? You know, do you want to guess what the price is going to be in the comment section down below? You know, let me know. What are you excited for it? And also let me know about Copilot. Is Copilot is good? Is it bad? Is that, does that seem like a bad thing? Are you still scared that that it might take over the screen? Let me know what is your concerns about Copilot. But to me, with the way how I'm seeing it, it just seems like you have to ask for it and press a button, hold it down, and then just ask a question, and it's just pretty much talking to you like an actual legit like human being and giving you some pointers and explanation, which is really cool. I ain't gonna lie, it's really cool. So we got that right there. And what about PlayStation 6? Are you a little bit disappointed that they wasn't there at GDC, not talking about the next generation PS6? Are you excited for PS6? Are you wondering, are they gonna put in some features from the Xbox going into the PS6? What do you want? Do you want a more open platform, or do you want it more closed off, a closed off ecosystem? Let me know in the comment section down below about those thoughts. And until next time, again, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.